Alright guys, here it is, part 3 of my Dark Knight review. Enjoy. So at the end of the last part, I basically mentioned how, Joker got arrested because, Gordon faked his death and, set up that whole operation. And, yeah, so he's arrested and now he's at, I believe it's a police station. I think it's funny whenever they're stripping the Joker of his things and like they're pulling out knives upon knives and like guns and all this stuff. Like he's just like a walking arsenal. But I kind of want to fast forward a bit. I want to talk about the interrogation between Joker and Batman for a sec. Now this scene is an interesting one. I think this is a good scene. At the same time, it's a horrible scene. And I know that doesn't really make sense, but let me explain. I think it treats the Joker well, but I think it treats Batman horribly. But I'll talk about the Joker first. Now, this scene shows just how crazy and diluted the Joker is, because the whole point of the scene was, Batman was trying to figure out where the Joker was hiding Rachel and Harvey. He's trying to get the locations, and Joker wasn't having it, and at one point Batman blatantly just started beating the shit out of him. Joker was just laughing at him, and it just goes to show that Joker, he won't have it, it doesn't matter how strong Batman is, he won't give, just because, he'll get a laugh out of it, and if he gets a laugh out of it, he won't give. And, even goes as far as to switch the, addresses, but I'll get that in a sec. Also, it's just, it was a nice scheme. It treated the Joker well, and it showed like how, just how mad and how chaotic he can be, and doesn't matter what you do to him, if he doesn't want to talk, he's not going to talk. Now this scene was horrible to Batman. It makes Batman look so bad. I'll tell you why. See, a lot of people like this scene. I don't. First of all, this is where people started to really make fun of the whole Batman growl thing, though. Where's Harvey Dent? Screaming on the top of his lungs. That's not Batman. Like, I said this. I think I said this in my Batman Begins review, or I said it in my what I want to see for a next Batman film movie. I don't know. I said it in one of my previous videos. I really, really miss the Detective Batman. This Christian Bale Batman isn't Detective Batman. And I miss Detective Batman. If it was the Batman he was supposed to be, he could have sat down with the Joker at this table and he could have completely deduced, where Harvey and Rachel were. But this Batman, in like a matter of 1 to 5, from 1 to 5 seconds, he like lost his temper and like literally. I saw this top comment on YouTube once. It was like, in all caps, "Where's the trigger? Where's Harvey Dent? Where's the trigger?" Like, those are the questions he asks in every single movie. And we're supposed to call him the world's greatest detective? Like, he just screams when he wants something. And then, when screaming doesn't get him anywhere, as we saw in this film, he would quickly lose his temper. And when Joker wasn't having it, he started beating the shit out of Joker. And the problem was, the more he'd beat the shit out of Joker, the more Joker would just blatantly laugh at him. And then when, Joker would laugh at him, he'd lose his temper even more, and he'd just continue beating the shit out of him. So this just wasn't Batman. But anyway, yeah, he didn't really seem like a detective. He seemed more like an angry brute that couldn't control his temper. Maybe you guys disagree, and, that's up to you. But, personally, I just, I don't think he was any bit a detective, especially in this scene. Anyway, so, Joker finally gives the addresses where Rachel, 2 different addresses, one where Rachel is, one where Harvey is. Batman goes where he supposedly thinks Rachel is. Gordon goes where he supposedly thinks Harvey is, and yeah, they end up switching. Joker ended up switching the addresses on him, so Batman really showed up where Harvey was, and Gordon and his men showed up where Rachel were, and Batman showed up just in time to save Harvey. But what ended up happening was Harvey fell over on a canister of gasoline. So when the building finally blew up, it burned half of his face and left a perfect seam down the middle. Maybe that was the doctors that managed to get it down perfectly. I don't really know how that happened, but whatever. Rachel wasn't so lucky, and Rachel told Bruce all throughout these past few movies that whenever he stopped being Batman, she'd go for him. But what she was implying was that he's never gonna stop being Batman. Like, Gotham needs Batman. And, Bruce took this as, well, she's waiting for me. Whereas she's really gonna marry Harvey Dent. So, there's this whole, Bruce not knowing who Rachel was actually gonna go for. And, so Bruce goes into depression. Harvey's in a hospital where he gets paid a visit by first Gordon, who Harvey, he's mad at Gordon. He thinks that Gordon basically turned his back on him, didn't save Rachel. Gordon, sorry, tells him that whenever they were at this one place or something, him and the other officers gave him the nickname Harvey Two-Face, hence why he's called Two-Face, which is just so adorable. And later on, Joker's next target is one of the hospitals. Doesn't say which one, or no, he does say which hospital. It's the one where Harvey's at, yeah. So they evacuate the hospital, and eventually Joker shows up to pay Harvey Dent a special visit, dressed as a nurse. Joker and a really pissed off Harvey Dent have a discussion, and Joker is basically talking about how people play by rules, and etc., etc. Puts a gun, gives Harvey a gun, even cocks the gun for him, puts the gun to Joker's head, gives Harvey the option to shoot him, and basically what Joker's doing, he's psyching Harvey out. He wants Harvey to, basically, Joker's trying to push the nail into the coffin. Harvey's already on the brink of insanity, and Joker basically just put the nail in the coffin. Harvey's basically insane. Joker cuts him loose, I believe. I forgot how Harvey gets. I believe he cut him loose. Been a little while since I watched the movie. Anyway, so yeah, Joker blows up the hospital. Harvey basically leaves. He goes on, a spree of, he goes against, I believe it's the mob bosses. And that's, we don't really hear much. We see Harvey. We see him. He goes to the bar, there's that one scene where he's drinking the alcohol and it just kind of seeps out of his face. It's wow. But yeah, so now I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Now Joker has devised this situation where, let's get into the whole final Batman versus Joker thing. First of all, Joker tied up, it was civilians, I believe, that looked like clowns, looked like clown thugs, but they're just civilians. And, he had them tied up and they were pointing guns outward. And meanwhile, the SWAT team was pointing their guns at them, so this was gun pointing. And on top of it, there was the whole boat thing where it's, there's a boat full of criminals and there's a boat full of civilians, and each boat had a bomb on it, and each boat had the other boat's detonator detonate said bomb, and Joker basically gave them X amount of time to detonate each other's bombs. Meanwhile, Batman, Lucius had set up this thing where I think it was in everyone's cell phone, or it was in something where he can basically see basically a giant radar board where he could literally see what everyone's doing in the city. It was actually pretty cool. And Lucius said as long as that device is there, he's not going to be there because that's too much power for one man. But Batman, deems that he needs it to take down Joker. So Batman goes to intercept the Joker. He, intricately takes down, the SWAT team without damaging any of the civilians that were, framed. Has a fight with the Joker. Joker actually has those mob bosses' dogs from the beginning. He took them, and it kind of reminds me of the hyenas from the animated series, the Joker hyenas. The fight continues. Eventually, what happens is Batman gets pinned down by Joker as they both await the results on the boats, where, both boats have decided unanimously that they're not going to blow up the other boat. Batman overpowers Joker, throws him off the roof, and basically grapples him, so he's hanging there. That's kind of the last we see of Joker. I'm not sure if that's, if they couldn't really film a final scene with the Joker because Heath Ledger died past that, or, whatever reasons, but that's kind of the last we see of him. But, yeah. Meanwhile, Gordon's going to some warehouse to where, he's meeting Dent, and Dent has his wife and kids. Puts a gun to his kid's head, basically says, "You're going to tell your kid it's okay, when it's not, just like I had to do with Rachel." Gordon basically, there's nothing he can really do. He's apologizing from the bottom of his heart. Two-Face ain't having it. I mean, he's pissed. And Batman shows up, tries to, he tells, Dent how, Joker succeeded in corrupting him. That was what Joker wanted. He wanted to take down the best person Gotham had. And that wasn't Batman. That was Dent, and Joker succeeded. And, Two-Face basically shoots Batman eventually. Batman goes down, flips the coin. Because this shows how mad Two-Face is. He flips the coin, puts the gun to his own head, offering to shoot his own brains out. Coin votes against it. About to do the same for his boy, flips the coin. And Batman tackles him out the window, killing Two-Face. And here's the thing. I don't know why this is why I wish they introduced Harvey Dent in the previous film, because Harvey Dent was introduced in this film, he became Two-Face in this film, and he was killed in this film. Like, they couldn't have spanned him out a little longer. Like, I found that really disappointing. Like, they literally just... I get it, they wanted him in the film because it helps make Joker's point of how to corrupt people, and that's fine. But they didn't have to literally railroad his whole story into one film. But whatever. Batman gets up. Gordon meets him outside. Gives the whole either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Starts running, and Gordon's son asks him, why are we chasing him? And Gordon, gives the whole, well, it's because we have to chase him, son. He's our silent guardian, our something protector, the Dark Knight. And it's the end of the film. Now, granted, I know I missed a lot. I just covered the bare bones, but this video was kind of going on 3 parts, almost on 4, so I really didn't want to stretch this out too long. Final thoughts. Do I think this film was kind of bumped up because Ledger had passed away? Maybe slightly, but it's still a good film. I mean, it has some really good messages. Sometimes we lose people. Sometimes, people do get corrupted. Sometimes the thing that we do deserve isn't always the thing that we get, isn't always the thing that we need. There's just a lot of different messages that Nolan helped convey. So it's a good film. It really is. It's a great film. And, this film and Batman Begins really, set up a great trilogy so far. But then we get on to the next film, the Dark Knight Rises, which I guess you'll have to wait and see my thoughts in the next film, or in the next review. Sorry. But till next time, guys. This was Dark Inception. Thanks for watching. Later.